Welcome back to the Paul Dolden Details channel, a very hot edition of the Paul Dolden Details channel. I stand here sweating like crazy. What the hell has happened to our weather? I'm not complaining. Right, this week we have a 1985 BMW 528 SE edition, 35 years old this is. This is when BMWs were BMWs. I'm going to leave it at that and I'll start a massive debate down below. Right, this is my son's new Classic. He sold the other one and he's moved on to bigger and better things. There are reasons for him selling the old one. It required quite a few quid being thrown at it to get it how he wanted it. So that's why he's moved on and really moved on to the car he really wanted. And there's a fly in here again. Good God. How annoying. Right, anyway, on with this week's video. Right, I won a competition. Really, Paul? Shock. Yes, Stiana Gloss. Want some Stiana Gloss stuff. You've probably seen this floating around on YouTube. You put the bottles next to it so it spells Stiana Gloss. Hand polishing. Not for the faint-hearted. More about that in the video. Right, that's what the video is all about. But we have a few other little products chucked in this week. Gleam Detailing sent down a prototype snow foam. 50 to 100 mil. Yeah, used a bit too much this week of that one. Smells of bubble gum with their new snow foam lance as well. I've got some older things here like AM Details fallout removers we've used before, and their clay bar. Huge clay bar, really nice. I enjoyed that clay bar, it's good. Oh, let the cat out of the bag. Shouldn't have said that. You haven't seen the video yet. Right, we'll very quickly talk about this. We've got the Safe High Gloss shampoo from Stiana Gloss. I'm using that. The hand polish, obviously, hand polishing. This has got a mild cut to it. That's all you need to know, a mild cut. Then we have a sprayable sealant as he picks up the detailer, major faux part. 3 to 5 months, depending on how you prep your panels. Chuck it in the car, 3 months. Prep your panels, 5. And then a high gloss detail spray, and then Voodoo You Do, yes I do, from Samsung. That is their tire and trim dressing. You said sealant then, dressing. Get your words out. What's wrong with you? Right, quickly mop my brow. And still in focus, boom. Food advice really this week. If you're a vegetarian and you're doing your barbecue, take the vegetable burger off, or the veggie sausages, whatever you're cooking, and put some small holding lamb burgers on. They taste so much better. Okay, right, grab a bottle of wine, grab a beer, roll the video. Here we go, we're kicking it off with Iron from AM Details, the fallout remover. Ultimate Finishes Safe Wheel Cleaner, diluted. 100 ml in that bottle. You can, of course, use a pump sprayer, electric pump sprayer if you've got one. I have got one. I've got the Marilex range of sprayers. You may have seen them on the channel. I tend not to use them much these days because I find that most people just have normal trigger bottles. And the ones I'm using are from Golden Bird Detail. Hit them up if you want some Jack Daniel's style bottles. So we'll start by rinsing down the wheel. A lot of you will be shouting at the screen saying jack the car up, take the wheels off. Remember, this is just our first wash. All that is coming, do not worry. Quick scrub of the side walls. These tyres appear to be treated with, hang on, what's going on here? Oh, not again. Right, if you're offended by this DP action, double penetration wheel cleaning, seems to be a new craze. I think everyone's doing this now. And you're wondering what that soapy stuff is. That is wheel shampoo from Garage Therapy. 1 capful in that bucket. Helps aid in lubrication, and God knows you need it with DPing, especially wheels. Just about got away with that. Soft Vican wheel brush, and then a rinse down. Then start spraying your iron fallout remover once you've cleaned the wheel with the this is just too much with the wheel cleaner. Right, it's starting to bleed. Clearly there's not enough lubrication in there. That, of course, is the chemical reaction from the iron fallout remover. Oh dear. Quick, get it done. This is just too much for family viewing. And the reason for the wheel soap or wheel shampoo, it aids in the cleaning. It's very good for maintenance washes, but also it stops kickback from doing all this sort of stuff. Right, that's enough of that. And yes, there is a Wheel Woolly video coming. Nearly said Willy there. Rinse and then repeat again on the rest of the wheels. So when we get around the back, we have the flaps. I think you'll find most flaps around the back. Treat these exactly the same as a wheel, apart from the fallout remover obviously. Use the APC. And give them a damn good scrub. APC, all right, wheel cleaner. We're using the wheel cleaner kind of as an APC and a wheel cleaner because it does make quite a good nifty tyre cleaner. If they're really bad, repeat the process. Same again, iron fallout. And there we have it, bleeding hell. Now these may have been refurbed in the past some time ago. Some of them are in better condition than the others. I think there's one on the front which has got a scuff, one on the rear has got a scuff, and it's starting to flake a little bit. Right, Gleam Detailing Snow Foam. Spot the deliberate mistake. Do not worry, there's a caption right at the end of the video. Watch till the end. Right, first impressions. He's super thick. I could probably get away with 50mm of this. It's very clingy. A bit like me after I've had a few. And you can use an APC underneath, especially in the winter. If you've got really dirty, grubby cars, you can put APC on first. A citrus-based product or your chosen all-purpose cleaner if you've got a really filthy car, and then blanket this over the top. Increases the dwell time, allowing the dirt to come off the car much better. Not a real filthy car, so not a real good test. There it is, starting to dwell and break down. Already the sun coming out. You get the increasingly warm. Valet Pro, introduced Valet Pro to the channel. I have to have the biggest Valet Pro delivery in history. There's going to be a ton of Valet Pro products being shown on this channel thanks to Elliot. That huge 22 kilo delivery. Now you might be wondering what on earth is in that bottle. That of course is my APC. Work it in to the headlights and the badges using the Valet Pro soft brush. There is a loose part on this front grille. The last car had exactly the same problem. So that's going to get remedied. The first of many, and I mean many, rinses. So that's the pre-washing stage. Get rid of all this residue. You don't want anything stuck on the car. Now you notice the water behaviour on this car. There seems to be something on this car from the previous owner. Seems to be sheeting quite nicely. I don't know what it is. I don't know the history of the car, but something's been put in that car. A lot of chrome on this car. Something else to keep on top of. Once you've finished your first rinse, we move on to the shampoo stage, Stiana Gloss shampoo. I will show you the directions. Dilution rates are, not brilliant. Read that. Another Valet Pro product, this is the Advanced Microfiber Wash Mitt. Nice wash mitt this, nice and thick. Yes, it's a red one and there's lots of these on the market. This is one that has the strap inside. Handy to keep it on your mitt, keep your mitt on your mitt. So the shampoo's not bad, it's pretty glidey, but then there is quite a bit in that bucket. I actually put 5 capfuls in, believe it or not. Probably overdone it, I normally do, but I went by the instructions on the label. Almost. One thing I did notice, and if you do this, you're not supposed to wash cars in the sun, obviously. So I'm doing a video and I started this very early. Yes, we do need a gazebo or some sort of a shelter. I was actually washing and rinsing as I was going with the power washer, because we had the worst water ever. So a bit of a rinse down as we're going. Don't forget that area, the flap area. And yet more rinsing. So at this stage it's time for the iron out. Now this is quite thick, this stuff from AM Details. It's probably better suited for wheels, to be honest with you. It still does the same effect. Obviously dissolves the metal particles in the paint. This was left on for around 5-10 minutes and nothing really. Very little came out of the paint. Once again, you need to rinse this off. It will dry as a white residue. Get rid of it. And we do this before the next stage. Now, after going around the car and touching the car, yes, I like to touch cars, nice pastime. The paint felt pretty smooth, but we are going to clay this car because even though we're not machine polishing, we're hand polishing, I don't want to put any more defects in the paint already. And believe you me, there is a lot. Busting out the fine clay bar from AM Details. You can break this down to a number of sections, it's huge. In that bottle there is literally half a capful of Garage Therapy's shampoo and then water. And that's probably too much shampoo, because in some of the shots it tends to lather up a bit like shaving foam. But it does provide adequate lubrication to the panel. You can of course use a quick detail if you want. Sometimes I find using quick detailer can be a little bit sort of wasteful against shampoo. Just keep the water on the panel. You can of course use your wash bucket and dump a load on there with your mitt. As long as you keep that panel wet, you're okay. And once again, rinse down. You don't want any of the residue left on the panels. Now as for tar, there was no tar on this car. I was quite surprised. Did go around it, didn't find any tar whatsoever. Also, don't forget to do the glass. Quite a bit of contamination on that rear screen. Out with the blower. Now I have to mention this, there is videos coming. You have to be a bit patient. There are stock levels which are a bit of an issue for a lot of companies, and that's the reason you're not seeing the videos quite as quick, due to what's going on around the world at the moment. So a quick blow job, a blow dry. Out with this FSE. This is the Kosh Chemi finishing spray. The reason for this is to get rid of any watermarks. We have abysmal water, and this stuff seems to work a treat, and it is absolutely phenomenal on showers. Out with the hand polish, Stiana Gloss. So this provides a mild cut. I cannot tell you how warm this was, and it's probably the wrong thing to do, I know, but I can't choose the weather. So Mr. Miyagi motion, work it into the panel in a relatively small area. The more you work it in, the better, obviously, until it kind of disappears, or you'll feel like your arm's going to fall off, whichever comes first. Now, after using machine polishers for a number of years, I can't tell you how difficult this is, and feels very foreign to me, very odd. My left hand is reaching for the machine polisher. It's twitching. This is done normal speed, just to show how long it takes. a second hit required, purely and simply because panel temperatures started to dry the product out. Nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. We're having crazy weather at the moment. Single paint, bit of paint transfer there, you can see it on the microfiber. And then of course buff it off. So what's it look like? We can just about make this out with the glare off the roof. That's the side I've done. So let's remove some oxidation very gently. There's a better shot of it coming up. Obviously the defects are still in there. There's a clear line where the tape's been. Crying out to be corrected. Yep, much better. So then frantically working my way around the car, sweating profusely and losing weight, hopefully. Just do small sections if you're going to do this. So no doubt there's probably some fillers in there, but I wouldn't have said it was exactly the same as a glaze. It's got some cut to it because you can see it coming off on the microfiber. And it does kind of very, very mildly cleanse the paint. This is going to the extremes where the car's clearly not seen a machine polisher. 35 years old. Yes, it's been kept very, very well and looked after, and it has had some paint in the past. It's a classic car. You really got to work this stuff in. And take your microfiber of your choice. These are the high definition detail ones. And already you can see a bit of an improvement, a bit. The gloss levels. So don't be greedy with this, just do a panel at a time. Now ideally you should break this down into a couple of sections if you want to get a sort of better go at it. But as usual, fighting the heat, I thought I'll just be greedy and do the whole door. The doors aren't particularly bad. The top parts are a little bit swirly, but down below they're okay. But this has had some work on it. Worst affected area was the large boot lid. Huge amounts of defects and swirls in this. You can see them in the sun. This of course did help. It removed the initial layer of oxidation, but there's no way you're going to correct this sort of product. Remember, this is just like a mild cleanser. The reason for using this is we don't want to go in hard. We just want to use a softly approach. I don't know the condition of this car, you know, the paint, how it's going to react, but clearly it's going to need a lot more work. Now, just to satisfy my own curiosity, I busted out the machine polisher with a orange polishing pad. What I found was the product dusted up pretty quick. It doesn't behave that great with the machine. The finish is obviously better, but it doesn't behave that great. It is very good on chrome trims though, and easy to apply. Now I could have sped a lot of this video up, but I just wanted to show you guys how long it actually takes, and this is only just snippets. This is just small sections I'm showing you guys. So eventually, after we've worked our way around the entire car doing all the chrome trims, it's onto the sprayable sealant. You can either mist your panel or you can mist the microfiber. On a windy day, spray the microfiber. Otherwise, you'll just get a face full of sealant. You can work this in. You can either flip the towel over or use a secondary cloth to buff off. So on the sides of the BMW, it's great. It's got a nice gloss to this. You can start seeing the end results. Be very careful using this in direct sunlight. I wouldn't advise it. It doesn't behave that great. You get a streaking effect. I noticed this on the boot, on the roof, and of course on the bonnet, because those were in the sun. So it's not sticky, there's no residue, it's very easy to apply, easy on and easy off. Bit like my shorts, where I've lost weight. Yeah. So a quick drink, bit of sparkling water, and move on to the next panel. Don't treat this as a QD, just do a panel at a time. Be patient. So we're looking at 3 months on a car which has got basically no prep done to it, just dumped on the paint. 5 months on a car that's got decent protection, so up to 5 months longevity. Yes, I'd had enough of wearing a hat at that point. I think I'd lost half my body weight in sweat. Wearing hats is great to protect your head, but you don't have to sweat a lot. I'll only get a phone call from me mum. You been wearing your hat? Yes. Yes, nearly 50 and my mum still rings me up. Oh no, the hat's back on, she must have made a phone call. So almost on the home straight, and you can actually use this product on glass. Once again, if you're doing this in the sun, be careful. It's a tad streaky when it dries. Doesn't seem to flash off so much as a glass cleaner. So OS, the last product is the QD. This is the crowning glory, the cherry on the cake, the flake in the ice cream. Very easy to use, flashes off lovely, and it gives a nice blingy finish. Not too sure on the longevity of the product, but it's probably weeks rather than months. And the last product is Voodoo. Yes, you do, Voodoo from Samsung. This was going to be featured in the last video, but of course the delivery is slightly late coming to the party, so why not feature it in another one? So use your tyre applicator and work it in. It is a cream, not a spray. Please do bigger bottles. And it smells like cheap banana sweets. Bonus! So my Skoda's wearing this on its tyres. You can use this on tyres and trim. They do another one, a tyre dressing. This is for both. Long lasting, apparently. Skoda's doing all right with it, so we wait and see. It is fairly glossy finish. That is it, ladies and gents. Time to kick back and admire me work. That was, I wouldn't advise doing this in the sun. I wouldn't advise doing hand polishing. This is really, really hard work. But we got a result. We got a result of sorts. Obviously, you're not going to get rid of all those swirls. You're not going to get rid of all the defects. You've got to step it up. You've got to go for a compound. But this is just to show what you can achieve with a hand polish or hand polish of sorts. Probably kind of like an all-in-one, to be honest with you. Anyway, let's rewind and go on to the first product we used. This was the Gleam Detailing Prototype shampoo. Tripping over my words. 50ml, to be honest with you, not 100ml. Used far too much of that. It's very, very thick. It's very, very clean. It's not the best showing you how this stuff works, to be honest with you, because the car's not particularly filthy. The car's had some work done to it, not by me. It's been prepped by someone else. I don't know what they did. So we kind of, as you saw through the video, with water behaviour. So I don't know what's been done. Don't know the history. So really, it wasn't a really fair test. But the consistency-wise and smell, bubblegum flavour, seems to be okay. But I'd like to test that again on a really dirty car. So we'll see that again on the channel. When it comes to the shampoo, I've got to say I wasn't that impressed because of the dilution rates. You know, 3 to 6 capfuls, you're going to plough through this stuff, to be honest with you. And with the shampoos I've got sat behind me, I know I go on about things like Garage Therapy and Alien Magic, and you've got ODK. You know, it's not the best. So it's okay, it's usable, but there's stuff out there that's better than that. Sorry about that, Jack, but my own personal opinion. Well, let's talk about AM details very quickly. We'll come back to Stiana Gloss. Yeah, this stuff works really well on wheels. When it comes to the body work, you'd probably be better off with something that's a bit thinner, easier to spray. It's a little bit gel-like, so brilliant on wheels, body work. And there wasn't really much fallout on the car anyway, because somebody's obviously done something to it. As far as the clay bar is concerned, one of the biggest clay bars I've ever come across. Yeah, a little bit of soapy water to act as a lube, or you can use QD if you want. That works very, very nicely. Didn't deteriorate. Next, talk about the main one, which is the gloss enhancing polish. Now, the reason, sweaty lip, the reason I used the machine was to see how it would react on the pad and speed it up because it was a long day, and just to see what the reaction was. And it dusts very quickly, so it's probably down to the lubricants in the polish and the temperature on the panel, to be honest with you. And that was on the side of the car. I mean, we tried to get out the sun, and I know I need a gazebo. Send me one. I'll put one up. They're a lot of money. So you won't get long working times with a machine. It's probably designed by hand, to be honest with you, because it doesn't really mention machines on there. I just thought I'd try it and see what the reaction was. So it's probably better off by hand. It is hard work, especially on a car like this. I know we're going right up against it. You know, this is weathered, it's got oxidation, scratches and all the rest of it. It did seem to work in a way, and it improved the car. It improved the car a lot, and I was very surprised. So that, I quite like that product. It's pretty good stuff. When it comes to the sprayable sealant, let's pick the right one up, Paul. That's a QD, bell end. Even on warm panels, on the side of the car, it was brilliant, and it really flashes off really, really quick. But be very, very careful on warm panels because it streaks like buggery. And that's down to application. That's not down to the product. Very, very warm day on this, on the paint, I suppose. The paint's a single stage, and it reacted a little bit weird. And I ended up going over it with the QD. And the QD is really nice to use. That flashes off, gives you a lovely level of gloss, and it seems to work rather well. And the last one was Voodoo You-Do from Samsung. Because it's a cream, you're going to have to massage this into the tyres. It probably works a little bit better on low profiles. There's nothing to do with the product being a naff product. It's just the fact it can be a little bit messy. Lovely on trims. I do like the way that you can apply this. It spreads very, very evenly. And if you get a bit of residue, just go over with a microfiber after. I've got this on my Skoda, it's on my tyres at the moment. It seems to be lasting very, very well. It doesn't disappear as soon as you drive down the road. So I would like a bigger bottle of that though, Sam. But, hint, hint, cough, cough, 5 litres. I'm only joking, 10 would be nice. That smells of banana sweets. Very, very fruity. Right, thanks to everyone that keeps sending me stuff. I have to say that. We are inundated with products at the moment. Big thanks to Jack from Stiana Gloss. Keith that sent down the snow foam. We're going to see more of that on the channel from Gleam Detailing. And Thanks to everyone that keeps watching. A little bit about the channel. I am struggling a little bit for time at the moment. You might see videos coming sort of every couple of weeks. I am stretched to hell at the moment with work, and my personal life. Work is just crazy at the moment, so bear with me. Keep interacting. I was trying to answer as many questions as I can at the bottom of these videos. I'll put all the website links underneath, all the ones I think you should know about. And thanks for watching, guys. Thumbs up, keep subscribing, stay safe and look after yourselves. See you later.